Hello everybody, if you're new here, which you probably are because this is my first video, welcome to my channel. This video is for a series that I'm starting called Our Earth is Literally Turning into the Hunger Games. That name is a bit of a work in progress, but for now, as for this introduction, that's what I'll be calling it. When I say that Earth is literally turning into the Hunger Games, I don't mean down to the rim, like we're all gonna turn into districts and start ripping each other apart. I mean that there are some things in the movie that are similar to what's happening in real life, and that's what I'm going to go over. In this video, which is part 1 of the series, is going to be talking about how the Capitol is similar to the government. The first similarity between the government and the Capitol is that fear is power. Throughout the entire movie of The Hunger Games, it's always shown somehow that the citizens are afraid of the Capitol. They're afraid of what they'll do, they're afraid of going up against them, and they use fear to control others. Fear isn't just threats, fear isn't just a gunshot or a weapon, it's also using people against you or threatening the ones you love. The Hunger Games specifically does this. They use someone that Katniss loves, like her family, her love interest, or just a friend. I feel like the government does this in a way is that they always make us worry that something is going to come and rip the person we love away from us, or something is going to happen to someone. There's always something, some conspiracy, or just something that makes us fear for each other and for ourselves. And speaking of fear helps them control their citizens, another similarity they have between each other is control. They control everything. I don't know if you guys heard of this huge quote-unquote conspiracy that it's always been around, but our electronics have cameras, and apparently everybody's assigned a little FBI agent that watches us every day. They control what we look at and what we see. Literally, I will be talking about my cat needs shampoo, and suddenly on my Instagram feed I will see shampoo for cats, or just ads from YouTube about certain subjects that I talk to my family about. They control what we see. They only push out what they want us to see. Like influencers, musicians, artists, they only give us what they want us to see because certain music has certain frequencies and waves in their music that could be harmful and damaging to our DNA. Certain actors, they aren't good role models for, kids like me. This kind of wraps into mind control as well. But on Netflix, there's a lot of shows where it's supposed to be for teenagers. And I am a very sheltered teenager. I've been homeschooled my whole life, so I don't really know anything. But these shows, they're making us grow up so fast. They're showing us drugs and, just a lot of bad things that we shouldn't know as teenagers, and it's just all over Netflix. But it's considered to be adolescence, but it's not. We should still be kids. We shouldn't be learning about those types of things. So they control what we watch, what we see, what we hear, and in the Hunger Games they control their citizens by more so of threats, like if they stand with Katniss, they'll be killed on sight, all these things. And subconscious control is much more damaging than physical control, and the government subconsciously controls us into making decisions that we think are good but could possibly be damaging. Next similarity that the Capitol and the government have between each other is that they are always watching, listening, and they don't mind their business. Literally, I don't know if you guys heard of that quote-unquote conspiracy that apparently we are all assigned our own FBI agent, and through our devices they look at us and they hear what we're saying, through the cameras of our, again, devices. I kind of believe that. I really do believe that because, again, how am I talking about I need a new pencil with a certain type of eraser, and then I'll get an ad for the exact same thing? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's really hard to get people to believe in that because it just seems like that's illegal, they can't watch us, like that's so bad and wrong. Like, they're literally the government, they can do whatever they want. But I really do believe that they're always listening and watching. Even in the Hunger Games with Katniss, I mean, They always have to watch the games. I mean, they created the games. They're there to set things up. But with the government, they are literally invading our privacy constantly. And it's not to be like, well, what do you want us to do? Like, not use any of our stuff? It's not about that. It's not about, you know, protesting it. It's about knowing that something is wrong here. This is probably the most important and interesting similarity between the two. They want everybody to be in a perfect little bubble and listen to them, and they don't want us to awaken, I guess. There's an example scene in the Hunger Games. The man does the symbol of the Mockingjay and, of course, the whistle, the iconic whistle. And he pretty much gets, you know, shot and beaten down because he was supporting her. This is the same thing that happens in real life. There are good people saying the same stuff like I am, or there are scientists and doctors who are telling us about certain things in the medical field that are just really bad and upsetting and damaging to us, and they get killed by the government a few days later, a few weeks later, whenever. I'm a writer, so using control to make everybody fear you is definitely interesting to me, because that's something I would write as a trait for one of my characters, but that's besides the point. And they make us think that we're so free and that we can do anything we want, but we're really not. We really can't. And it's the same thing with the Capitol. They make everyone there, you know, feel like they're doing something and they're being something, but you're nothing. You really feel like nothing, because at the end of the day, they have all the control. We don't have anything. The land you own, that's not really your land. You're just paying for it, and it's somebody else's. Nothing is actually ours because they own everything. Just a disclaimer, I absolutely know that everybody else has different opinions or conspiracies or whatever, and it's not my job to change your mind. It's not my job to put my opinion onto you, but this is just, you know, personally what I think is happening within the earth, and maybe you could agree, maybe you could agree with certain things, maybe you can't, and that's okay. I'm just here to spread my information, and you can do with that as you will, and you can obviously put your own opinions in the comment section if you wish. But that's all for today's video, and yeah, hopefully you come back next time.